First of all, I think it's quite significant that Neiman Fellows have issued this statement of solidarity, and I'm really thankful to them. Not only myself, but all other journalists working in Pakistan in these difficult times. They are thankful and they have expressed their gratitude to Neiman Fellows, who stood by them at this testing time. But as far as your question about how confident I am about the outcome, I don't think I'm very confident. Nobody in Pakistan is quite confident, although we will continue to struggle to get justice in this case and other cases as well. But my lack of confidence is based on the rampant impunity, unending impunity about those attackers who have been targeting journalists for the last many years in Pakistan. But none of them has been ever arrested or brought to the law or the court of law ever. So this is unfortunate, and this is, I think this is rather tragic, that in Pakistan, people who attack journalists either kidnap them or kill them or injure them or abuse them or threaten them. They have not been taken to the justice. I think this is an indictment in itself on the present government and the previous governments who have failed to take any action against those involved in attacking the journalists. So I am not confident at all, but I still am not leaving any hope. We journalists are working on our own. We are investigating these cases as investigative journalists do work on certain issues. We are doing that, and we have some information as well. And I think with the passage of time, we will get more information, and let's see if we could expose them on our own. Well, why did it happen? The only reason I can see is because I'm not doing any active media jobs for the last many years. I don't appear in TV talk shows. I don't host a TV talk show. I don't write articles for any newspaper because no Pakistani TV channel or newspaper is willing to air my views or print my views, my opinions on political setup in Pakistan. I'm quite critical of the government, but my criticism is directed towards them through my Twitter account only. So that's the only way of expressing my opinion, and I do that quite frankly and quite honestly. So I think that was the reason that because of my tweets, certain people felt threatened and they thought the law may move against them because the public pressure was so much because of my tweets and tweets by other people as well, that they targeted me and they wanted to silence my voice. And that's the only reason I can see. Who did that? I cannot pinpoint certain individuals because I lack actionable intelligence so far. But as soon as I get in evidence and information, credible information, I definitely would share with everyone here. Well, state of press freedom is rotten in Pakistan completely. Pakistan stands one of the lowest country on the list of freedom of speech. And I think this is quite unfortunate for our country, where people working for media have been struggling a lot during the last few decades to ensure their freedom. But unfortunately, during this regime, which is called hybrid regime, which is a combination of political military regime, they have resorted to fascist tactics, and they cannot tolerate any difference of opinion. They cannot tolerate any other opinion except what they believe in, and they want all journalists, all critics to say only what it suits the government. So I think this situation is quite dangerous, and just to keep this danger lurking around us and to keep this people of this country under constant fear, so that they do not speak the truth, they do not ask questions, they do not criticize the government and its actions. These people are targeted again and again. And what happened in Lahore last week is an example that these efforts have been unending. And I think these attacks on journalists are continuing in Pakistan because Western countries are collaborating with the regime in Pakistan. They are quiet, they are silent, they do not speak, they do not air their resentment, or they do not take any action against this persistent attack on freedom of speech in Pakistan and against media and media persons in Pakistan. I don't know the reason. I don't know what interest US, UK, and other Western countries are eyeing here in Pakistan. But this is because of their criminal silence that those human rights activists, human rights defenders, and media persons are suffering in Pakistan, and they're suffering with their blood and with their jobs and with everything they have. They should follow the constitution and law, and our constitution ensures under Article 19 and 19A that everyone has the freedom of speech. Of course, there are certain no-go areas, but other than that, there is no restriction. And especially when someone is involved in politics and they are responsible for running of the government, and people would ask questions. They should answer the questions which are raised by people, because Pakistan's media, mainstream media, which include newspapers and television channels, they face cruel censorship these days. So the only medium with people who have free speech or free thinking, the only medium with them is social media like Twitter and Facebook and YouTube. But those people who are using YouTube or Twitter or Facebook, they are being targeted by the state and by the state departments. That is unfortunate, and I think that is making things worse here.